Hello my friends, what is up? It's Kat here, once again coming to you live from my parents' house. I was not expecting to film another video here, so fear not, this should be the final video in this unfamiliar setting here. We will be back in our usual setup very soon. Again, I was not expecting this because frankly, if you had told me this time last month that we were going to finally be getting a Skeleton Crew trailer at D23 this past weekend, I really would not have believed you. And if you have been around here for a hot minute on this channel, you would know that I don't like when they release trailers like exclusively to the celebration audiences and then give us no morsels, nothing, no scraps after the fact. I've been vocal about that, so I am finally gonna bite my tongue and admit that I was wrong, but I've been on my hands and knees, y'all, begging for any sort of morsel or scrap. So finally, I'm so freaking excited that we actually have. I was not expecting this to be one of the announcements or releases from D23 with Lucasfilm this year, but I'm not gonna complain, y'all. So we are gonna sit down and do a little bit of a delayed reaction to that this evening. I'm really excited to check this out and just know anything more about this show. And with the majority of this cast being younger child actors, I'm just really curious as to how the tone of this show is going to differ from the current, plethora of Disney Plus projects that we have so far, which I wouldn't argue are not geared towards like the younger child audience, but when it comes to Star Wars, I think some of the more, childlike characters and elements are some of the better parts of the story. I don't even know if it's necessarily just geared towards the younger audience. I don't know anything about this show, okay? Everything I have had is speculation so far, so I have no idea what to expect going in, but I'm obviously really excited to see just new characters. You guys know that's something I'm always begging for with the new Star Wars shows, the live action ones in particular. I don't know where in the timeline, I don't know anything about the show, where in the timeline this takes place. Obviously, we're getting a whole new set of characters, and of course, Jude Law coming into the scene. I will take that. But of course, a disclaimer, since this show is primarily, I believe, a child-dominated cast, mostly child actors here, I think it should go without saying, but we'll be heavily policing and monitoring the comment section to, if you're coming here to complain about the children or their acting in any way, shape, or form, I highly encourage you to go home and reevaluate your life. That's all I can say. We will be deleting those comments to keep this a safe space, because the last thing I want, I of course am going to be reacting to this show, but I do not want to be fostering an environment, a breeding ground of negativity surrounding them, and I think as a fandom we need to be looking out for these younger actors and welcoming them into the fandom, into the Star Wars universe, this galaxy, and protecting them at all costs. Disclaimers aside, let's finally freaking just get into this. Oh my god, I have no idea what to expect. Alright, here we go. One Day Old Skeleton Crew, the official trailer that dropped at D23, coming December 3rd. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we don't have to wait. I thought this was going to be the latter half of December. So this is actually going to be coming out sooner than we thought. Let's see.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if we
Star
could go
Wars
anywhere we
Suburbia,
want in the
let's
whole
go.
Galaxy. A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is?
I think it's a lost Jedi temple.
What? Wait, no.
Be careful where you step.
Okay, why is this scary? Ah! Oh!
We're lost. Really lost.
Tis dangerous out here in space. Trust no one.
Look out for these children. Is that a Wolverine? A werewolf? What the fuck?
You're a Jedi.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay, truthfully, whoa, I'm a little bit like speechless. You guys, I feel like I'm getting spoiled. I feel like my prayers into the ether have been answered, because you guys know one of the main things I've been truly just begging for with Star Wars is, of course, yes, I love the tenets and the core of the Skywalker saga. I've said it numerous times. I don't need to freaking repeat myself like a broken record here, but you guys know that I've just been so thirsty for new characters, new glimpses into the galaxy, and it looks like this is going to capture something that I think Andor caught really well, which was the normalcy, which I know was kind of like not necessarily heavily disputed, but yes, Star Wars is so much of like the mystical, the Jedi, which I didn't realize that was going to be an element in this show, so I'm excited for that. But of course, you know, what we know it to be, the Jedi, space wizards, the Force, whatnot, all of that fun stuff. You know, we saw much more of it, new elements with the magic of the Coven in the Acolyte, and of course that series delivered on new characters, new timeline, just completely unrelated story, cast, and everything that I've been wanting to see in Star Wars. So I feel like I'm a little bit spoiled, because it feels like my prayers have been answered and we're finally delving into some newer places and faces in this obviously massive galaxy. Like, of course there's going to be suburbia in Star Wars, which that'll be really freaking interesting to see, just like what is life like for normal children growing up in the galaxy here. And I'm curious as to where this timeline is, but where exactly, if they're referencing Jedi, I'm assuming the Jedi are extinct at this point in time. Does this coincide? Does this correlate with like Mandalorian era and whatnot? But they're obviously exploring abandoned Jedi temple ruins and whatnot, and based on their reaction to Jude Law's entrance, which I wasn't expecting his character to be a Jedi necessarily, but that could be a really interesting dynamic of innocent children and lost running amok in the galaxy, and their paths cross with one of the a character like a, you know, surviving Jedi with the biggest target on their back. You know, that would certainly be interesting paths to cross. And you know, we got a little taste of that in the Acolyte, of course, the interaction of young children and that whimsy, the way they adore and like idolize the Jedi, you know. So to see that again through the lens of, you know, childlike youth and just their open-mindedness and just that adoration for the Jedi, that's going to be really, if that is where this is going, if this isn't just like a bait and switch with Jude Law's character, was a great teaser to just reveal something more. But we still don't know too much necessarily going in for this show or any of these characters necessarily, and I love that. Like, I don't want that to come across as a complaint. I only say it because as like a sweaty Star Wars fan, I feel like I should know more like about a show that's coming out this year, and up until now this has been such a mystery to me. So I do think that whether or not Jude Law's character here is truly a Jedi still has yet to be seen, but regardless, I'm just excited for something new. And to go back to the point I was making that I didn't finish, I loved that element of Andor, which was it captured the mundane and the normalcy of the galaxy, because not everybody, it's a freaking huge galaxy, not everyone's a Jedi or, you know, serves the Empire or the Rebellion or whatnot. There are obviously millions of normal people living everyday lives in the galaxy. So what is that life like? And of course then the thirst and anticipation and eagerness for adventure, you know, something new for these kids here. I'm already just really excited about the vibe of this show. I think it's going to be so different from everything that we've gotten previously. Not that it's going to necessarily again be just targeted solely for the younger audience, like, but again, I think it will really capture that childlike, just youthful whimsy that again is some of my favorite parts of Star Wars. You know, we have that with Omega and Bad Batch, and of course, you know, Grogu in The Mandalorian. Those are some of like the hallmark, just more wholesome moments that I think we kind of need as a fandom right now. And I just think a show like this will just be a really fun way to shake things up. But I love the vibes of this trailer. Again, seeing some more of like suburbia and just everyday life in the galaxy, like what it's like for children specifically. The children that we've seen in Star Wars aren't typically living everyday lives. It's Grogu, who we don't know too much about, or Omega, who has had anything but a normal childhood. So to see even just like a little glimpse of that, like what is it just like to grow up in the universe? And of course have those aspirations and those dreams of, yeah, you are living a mundane life in a galaxy that you share with Jedi, and the Force, of course, being a very big element here of mystery, I'm sure, for them. So So I'm very excited for this as something new, and just, it looks fun. It just feels so fun. And of course, just these relationships, the dynamics, I think it's going to be very interesting to explore the galaxy through the childlike lens. You know, the vibes here, it kind of almost gave me like Stand By Me vibes in the beginning, as it shows them like trailing their bikes through the meadow. Like, those shots looked gorgeous. Like, wherever they shot this, I was getting mega Stand By Me vibes, and that, in my opinion, is like one of the greatest movies of all time. But kind of similar premise of just that sense of normalcy. Of course, that focuses on like teenagers and whatnot, and the ambitions to get out on this adventure, and then it turns out to be more than you bargained for and whatnot, and you learn a lot along the way, and your friendships become closer. So I'm kind of getting vibes like that. I know it's been compared to Goonies in space, with Jude Law as like their chaperone here, but I'm just really excited for this and whatever they stumble upon, and of course exploring, you know, abandoned Jedi temples and whatnot. Like, wherever they go, I'm down. So, but yes, I am happy to announce that y'all will finally hear me shut the frick up about begging for a Skeleton Crew trailer or just poster or morsel or just any sort of tease to hold me over until December, to give me something to hold on to about this show, to learn more. I'm sure there is an extended trailer coming up in the future where we might get a little bit more of the premise, but this is great. Until then, I'm already sold. You guys know I'll be watching anything Star Wars, but I'm sold on just how fun this is going to be. Just something fresh and new. I think tonally it'll be very different, and that's what I'm really excited about. So let me know what you guys thought of the Skeleton Crew trailer. I'm so excited. The timing of this is actually perfect because, of course, we're coming off of the post-Acolyte depression over here. We're entering the drought season up until December, but this is great to hold me over until I imagine we get a more extended trailer. But do let me know what you guys thought about this first one down below, and if you were able to attend D23, let me know how your experience was going in to see all the other exclusives that they released. I think there was like an Andor trailer, Mandalorian and Grogu, lots of exciting stuff. So if you were able to attend, do let me know how your experience was down below. But yes, that's going to be it from me today, guys. Once again, thank you for putting up with me as I've been out and about, not in my usual setup right now, but I promise we will be back there very soon. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Hope you guys are doing so well as always, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye, guys.